Hi, this is Corey McCarthy, and welcome to a new episode of Fit, Formidable, and Fantastic. That's right. Go F yourself. And happy Meatless Monday. Now, this week I wanted to do a video addressing one of the biggest fads, which is consequently also one of the biggest marketing scams and popularly circulating the vegan community. And that's why I chose to do this particular video on a Meatless Monday. In fact, I have been wanting to do this video for a while, but other subject matter kept coming up and taking precedence on previous weeks. So, without further ado, this video is going to be addressing detoxing and cleansing protocols. Let me first start by saying that the human body can and will detox itself. This is the job of both the liver and the kidneys. The kidneys, for instance, their major function is waste removal, as I'm sure you all are aware, whereas the duties of the liver is to remove various toxins from the body. That's one of the duties of the liver. Thus, you don't need a fancy protocol, and if, for whatever reason, your kidneys or liver are compromised, then you need to be seeking medical help, not an infomercial-worthy detox or cleansing protocol, essentially. So you need to seek medical help. Okay? Interpret that as you will. Now, moving forward, the British organization Sense About Science, what it says of detoxing products are, and I quote, "They are a waste of money, and they sow confusion about how our bodies, nutrition, and chemistry actually work." So there you go right there. That kind of sums up the whole scam that is detoxing and cleansing protocols. They're a waste of your money. And it's born, it also creates, but it's also born of this confusion most people have about how their bodies actually work. According to Dr. Lane Norton, who's a PhD in nutritional sciences, and those who are involved in physique will also know that he's a bodybuilder as well as a power lifter, a trainer and a prep coach, all that. According to him, and I put this in quote as well, if you ask most of the people promoting these cleanses and detoxes what toxins they're actually referring to, they can't even name them. Which is actually pretty pathetic, because if they're trying to sell you products or systems to remove toxins, they should know what toxins they're actually cleansing, basically. So that right there screams of fraud. I do suggest that you read the PDF that I have linked below in the description fields under references. It's called the Detox dossier. I actually have it in quotes down below in the next to its link so that you could easily find it. It might be extremely eye-opening for some of you, and a good laugh for others who are already up to the knowledge of the scam that is detoxing and cleansing. The document involves various companies being pressed for details and explanations for their products and systems by actual scientists and medical professionals. And as Lane Norton had pointed out, you will find that one company there's one company on that list who actually thought that endocrine was an organ rather than a system of glands that it actually is in the body. And another company actually thought the liver was a scientific term. Sorry, that just makes me basically just makes me laugh, because it's just pure idiocy. And these people are trying to sell you products, and people are buying into this shit. And furthermore, a number of companies didn't even know what their products even really do, which is pretty sad. And in fact, some of the employees don't even use them. But you know what? Hey, they're selling you these products. Red flags, perhaps? That raises them to me. Now, moving forward, there is no clinical evidence supporting the effectiveness of their use. Reputable scientists and medical professionals are denouncing the practice. Again, if you see my references, I have linked in the description plenty of further reading for you, detailed reading, so you can actually see what different professionals are actually saying about this scam. I'm just going to put out there, this scam. Experts are reducing them to a hoax or a con, and saying there's not even a shred of evidence that these toxins even exist, as I had pointed out before. In fact, according to Alan Bubus, if that's how you pronounce his name, he's OBE, a professor of anatoxicologist at the Imperial College of London, and I put this in quotes. The body's own detoxification systems are remarkably sophisticated and versatile. They have to be, as the natural environment that we evolved in is hostile. It is remarkable that people are prepared to risk seriously disrupting these systems with unproven detox diets, which could well do more harm than good, end quotes. And yes, actually, to elaborate on something he said, and you will find this again in the research that I have linked below, some methods suggested by certain detox diets, like prolonged fasting, not short or intermittent fasting, but prolonged fasting, we're talking about weeks to even, God, months in some cases, could have disastrous health consequences, possibly even fatal consequences. But these products, these protocols, systems, diets, and supplements are a business, and as such, they do make a lot of money for the owners, be it by deception that it is. And this is actually despite the absolute ignorance being displayed by the various companies selling them. And I had mentioned this previously. People believe these systems work, these products work, these cleanses and detoxes work. The key word there is believe, which is not substantial evidence for efficacy. I've discussed this in previous videos. Belief is merely an acceptance of faith or trust that something is true or false, whereas evidence is a collection of facts and information and data supporting validity or truth. They are totally different things. Belief is not evidence. I want to make that clear again because a lot of people don't seem to get the difference between these two. Believing something is not proof that it works. They're different. So people believe these systems work, and this is due to the placebo effect. And Lane Norton actually pointed this out in his article, which I have linked below in the references. And this is due to how people feel using them. And if you think about that for a minute, people who have been eating perhaps a very shitty diet, like think the standard American diet, for instance, and then they suddenly go on like a juice cleanse where it's juice only for a week or whatever, of course they're probably going to feel better because they've gone from eating shitty food to eating, to drinking, what amounts to just, juices and whatever else. So their body isn't going to be as weighed down with all that shit that they've been normally putting in. But there's disastrous consequences to doing this for too long, as I've also pointed out as well. And again, the key word there I mentioned before was feeling. In other words, not any measurable or real benefit, and thus nothing substantial to warrant mass recommendation. In fact, researchers will use placebos in studies as a control. And in other words, one group might get a particular drug, for instance, that is being studied, and the other group will receive a placebo. This way they can measure the actual benefits of the drug in one group in a controlled manner versus a placebo in another group. So, all this having been said, what is my ultimate suggestion here? Save your time and save your money. Take care of your body and your health by eating a healthful diet and at least limiting processed foods to 10 to 20% of your total daily intake, unless you want to completely avoid them, but you don't have to be healthful. Beyond this, exercise, drink plenty of water to flush your system, get proper sleep, and I'm sure you all know this drill. I'm sure it's been preached to you 1,000 times before. And if you have any existing health conditions, don't be turning to con artist quackery. Instead, talk with a qualified medical practitioner. That's really all I have to say on the subject. I'm sure this is going to rustle a lot of feathers because, again, as you've seen in previous videos, especially my fruit video, and I've done a number of videos where people have commented because they don't like my video or they disagree with my video because it doesn't align with what they believe. Well, I'm sorry if your beliefs don't align with the fact. That doesn't make your beliefs true. That just means you're sticking your fucking head in the sand like a fucking ostrich and you're being ignorant. And you are actually choosing to remain ignorant. Beliefs can be very dangerous. I'm sorry, this is a bit of a tangent here, but beliefs can be very dangerous because they're not easy to change, especially when people begin to identify and associate with a said belief. Whereas scientists, for instance, will leave the ego at the door, and in light of new evidence, if they're good scientists, in light of new evidence, what they know to be true will adjust with the facts as we increase our body of evidence through the scientific process, year by year by year. So again, like I said, beliefs are a dangerous thing, and just because you believe something to be true does not make it so. Especially when a fact crushes a belief you may have. Too bad, so sad. But you can go on living in the dark age and sticking your head in the dirt if that's what you want to do. It's your body, it's your health. But it makes you look like a fool. So anyway, like I said, avoid these scams. Detoxing and cleansing protocols are bullshit. They're not supported by any kind of reputable research. In fact, medical and scientific professionals denounce them. So feel free to drop some comments below if you'd like to discuss further. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on Friday for a regularly scheduled episode. Till then, stay fit, stay formidable, and stay fantastic. I will see you around.